Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, as you can see on your screen right now, we're going to be talking about bond valuation. Specifically, we're going to be talking about a simple way that you can figure out the price or the valuation for your bond at this current moment. And the way that we're going to be doing that is through these two formulas right here. You can see that they're both super simple and super self-explanatory. I'm totally kidding. We're actually going to be doing it a completely different way that is a whole lot more simple and a whole lot more self-explanatory. We're going to be doing that today with Fidelity's bond calculator. There's also a way to do this on Excel sheets that some of you might have heard of or tried before. In this case, it's talking about how to find the coupon rate using an Excel sheet, but you can also do this to find a bond price. But we can do this with all of these complicated formulas and all of these Excel formulas, or we can just have a simple calculator on a website that I'll link down below that will do all of this for you if you just input a little bit of information. So when you click on that link in the description down below, it'll take you to this page right here, which is once again a Fidelity calculator for calculating bond price, and it also does bond yield as well. For the purpose of this example, to show you how it works, we're going to be doing it with bond price, and we're going to be doing it with a corporate bond. Now, these numbers obviously are nothing exact, but I'm just going to put in numbers to sort of show you how this works. So let's say that the yield to maturity is 6%, and so is the coupon rate, meaning that this bond is being sold on par or at par. We'll go over that a little bit more towards the end of this video. After I do this example, we'll talk about bonds that are being sold at a premium as well as bonds that are being sold at a discount and what that means. But let's continue with this example. We'll go with semi-annual coupon frequency, meaning they're going to be paying out that interest rate every 6 months. We'll say that this bond is going to mature in, let's say, 4 years at the beginning of January 2028, and the par value or the face value of the bond, usually this is going to be $1,000, so we'll just leave it and say that we're only purchasing one of them. We're going to leave the settlement date where it is, and we're going to click this calculate button. And because the yield to maturity rate and the annual coupon rate are the same, the price on this bond should come out to be right around the face value, because like I said, it's being sold on par or at par. I've heard it both ways. And so when those two rates are the same, the cost of the bond should equal the par value. Now this changes a little bit if we mess with either the coupon rate or the yield to maturity. In this case, we're going to leave the coupon rate the same and say that that is going to stay at 6%. What that means with a semi-annual coupon frequency is that every 6 months, this is going to pay out a 3% coupon or a 3% interest rate of that original par or face value. So in this case, it would be paying out $30 every 6 months. Now what changes, however, is this yield to maturity or call. That is going to go up or down based on the actual price of the bond. And so you'll see if I lower this to say 4%, the price of the bond or the cost of the bond is going to go up, because when you're doing those 30% coupons every 6 months, but the price of the bond goes up to, say, in this case, almost $1,100, it's then only going to be returning around 4% per year instead of that original 6% per year. In this case, the bond would be said to be selling at a premium. However, if we want to see the flip side of things and see a bond that's being sold at a discount, let's say that the yield to maturity goes up to 8%. Now, if you remember what I said earlier, the coupon itself is always going to stay the same, meaning that this bond would still pay out the $30 every 6 months, but when the price of the bond itself drops, in this case down to $933, the actual yield that you're receiving every year would go up to around 8%. I should clarify actually that that is the yield to maturity, not the yield per year that would go up to 8%. Now the question then becomes, why exactly would the price of a bond drop, or why would it go up? And this has a lot to do with interest rates. For example, recently we've seen interest rates declining, and therefore the price of these bonds is going to go up. The reason for this is because many bonds have long duration. For example, with this example that we just put into the calculator, it has a duration of around 4 years. In this case, we have an annual coupon rate of 6%, which is super good. And so when we have this interest rate of 6% locked in, which is a super good rate, and then we have our interest rates declining, meaning that these new bonds being put out by corporations are going to come out with a lower coupon rate, these bonds that are locked in with the higher coupon rate of 6% are going to go up in price simply due to supply and demand. No one wants the new bonds with a lower coupon rate. They all want the old bonds with a higher coupon rate. I hope this video was helpful in some way and answered some of your questions. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comment section down below and we'll make sure to get back to you. Also, while you're down there, leave a like and subscribe so that these videos can make it out to even more people. But other than that, we'll see you in the next one.